Hey guys, I'm going to be showing a tutorial for setting up the Kingdom Hearts 2 PC randomizer, as well as covering some things about the randomizer like seed creation, tools, and potential bugs. This guide will go over using the Epic Games version of Kingdom Hearts 2 and the Garden of Assemblage randomizer mod made by Sonic Shadow Silver 2 and other developers from the Randomizer Discord. This tutorial is only meant for the PC version that you can purchase on the Epic Games Store, so this will not cover how to set things up for the emulator. Before this guide begins, I will assume that you have installed the Epic Games version of the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 collection. Linked in the description are different files and documents I'll be referencing, as well as different timestamps for the video. Please download the files at your leisure. For a brief introduction, let's talk about what the Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer is. Randomizer is a mod developed where abilities, forms, summons, magic, and other items are placed in random chests and rewards throughout the game. The general goal of the randomizer is to find all three proofs: the proof of peace, the proof of non-existence, and the proof of connection, and beat the final Xemnas fights beyond the door at the end of the world that never was. The proofs are found randomly in any of the worlds, level ups, or form level ups. There is the main Google Doc for the randomizer also, which has updated links for the Garden of Assemblage mod for emulator and PC, as well as update notes and various warnings and cautions. Please reference this document and get used to navigating it for some updated files. Let's briefly go over the latest addition to the randomizer setup process, the LuaFrontend developed by Topaz. The older methods of setting up PC randomizer can require the user to have to modify their game. This new method attaches itself to the game, no modifications or files need to be altered, and it can be 100% removed to revert your game easily to its vanilla state. The older methods are going to slowly lose developer support in favor of the new LuaFrontend, so using this version is ideal. The first step in the setup process will be to download the LuaFrontend. This is constantly receiving developer support and is readily available from the GitHub link in the description. When you are downloading from the GitHub, make sure to download the LuaFrontend.7zip file and not the source code. If you do not have 7zip installed to extract the file, or if you don't have a program that can do it, please download 7zip, install it, and then try extracting the download. Extract the program to any folder or location you wish. Just remember to keep track of it where it is, since we will be used quite frequently. Once you have downloaded and extracted the files, open the folder and take a look at the files inside. We will be taking a look at the scripts folder mostly for this guide, as well as the LuaFrontend application itself. Now let's open up the scripts folder. Inside, there are 4 folders, but the 2 folders we will be focusing on are the KH2GL and KH2JP folders. If you are using the Japanese version of the game, you will be using the KH2JP folder. For all of the versions, you'll be using the KH2GL folder. Click the folder you're going to use, and then keep this folder open for future use and for our very next step. Next, we'll download the Garden of Assemblage mod for PC. From the main Google Doc, scroll down to the randomizer build section and click on the text link PC version nums lua. This will bring up a page for the code for the Garden of Assemblage Lua mod. This link will be constantly updated to link to the most recent version of the Garden of Assemblage mod, so please visit the Google Doc and download the link here, since it is a good idea to visit this often for future updates. Once downloaded, extract the download and place the file inside the KH2GL folder. Next, download nums Rando converter PC from the Google Doc or in the video description. Extract the download, then what we will do to make the setup process easier down the line is to place the Rando converter folder inside the scripts folder from earlier. This folder and program is used to convert a seed from the seed generator website to a file that the Lua engine uses. Inside the folder, scroll down to the randoconverter.exe application, left-click, then right-click the program and scroll down to Create a Shortcut button. When the shortcut is made, click and drag the shortcut into the KH2GL folder. Now let's generate a seed. To create a seed, we will need to use Vlaxter's seed generator. With this website, there are different sliders and modifiers that can alter how the randomizer experience will be. I will go over the finer details of this generator at a later point in this video. You can check the timestamps for when. But for testing purposes, we will generate a seed right now with the default settings. One thing I will note right now is that settings in the experimental tab will not work for the PC randomizer. For updates on whether these settings will get support, please join the Randomizer Discord and keep an eye on the channels there. When you wish to download a seed with the settings you like, click or hover your mouse over the blue Download Seed button, then hover over any of the language patch links. It does not matter which language patch you choose, so feel free to choose whichever you like. Download the seed and place it within the KH2 GL folder. Now, we'll convert the seed by simply dragging the seed file onto the shortcut. This will bring up a window that says some credits to creators and testers, as well as the main message that says the seed is converted. Once we see that message, we can press the Enter key to close out of the window, and now we can see that a .lua file with our seed's file name was created. This is the seed file that the Lua engine and randomizer reads from. Now we can start up the game and see if the randomizer works. Start up KH2 by opening it through the Epic Games launcher and the 1.5 2.5 launcher. Once we're at the main menu for KH2, we'll go into the LuaFrontend folder and open up the LuaFrontend application. Here you can see a list of games that corresponds to the folders inside the scripts folder from the very beginning of this guide. You'll want to click on the Kingdom Hearts 2 GL game. Then you can see in the scripts section the Garden Assemblage mod, the seed, and any other scripts that you have downloaded. Now, click on Engine, then click Start Engine. A window should now pop up showing the version number of the Garden of Assemblage mod and the frequency of the mod. You can close the window if you would like to. Now, let's start the game as normal, so we'll select our difficulty, vibration setting, and just start up the game. If everything is done right, we will be loaded directly into the Station of Serenity, where we can choose our dream weapon. If you start up the game and you end up at the opening cutscene movie, then the LuaFrontend engine might not be started. If this happens to you, close the game and restart again, making sure that the LuaFrontend engine was started. For now, I'll be selecting Sword, and now we should be loaded right into the Garden of Assemblage. This area is normally used to fight the data versions of each of the organization members, but it has been retooled within the Garden of Assemblage mod to serve as gates to each of the worlds. You are free to start in any world, and you can leave almost every world whenever you choose. The only times you cannot leave a world are when you see a basic save point like the one here in the garden, where your only options are saving the game or returning to the title screen. This is seen within the first 2 days of Simulated Twilight Town, the first visit to regular Twilight Town, and visiting Space Paranoids. Do note that to leave Space Paranoids, you must talk to the computer inside as you would to leave in a normal playthrough. The starting chest should yield random items as well as potentially your inventory and starting abilities. If all this looks random, then you have successfully set up the randomizer. Once you are done with a seed and would like to try another, make sure you download a new seed from the seed generator and convert it again with the random converter shortcut by dragging the seed onto the shortcut. Let's touch on some common issues and solutions that you may face when trying to use the randomizer. When you are going through a playthrough of a seed, you might encounter times where you see large chests like where maps and important items are typically seen in vanilla playthrough of the game. If you ever see this can be a sign that the Lua mod didn't execute an operation in time. It is advised to restart the game and restart the Lua front-end. When you are deciding to go to the Garden of Assemblage through the world map option in the save point, if you end up at the real world map, this can occur because Lua front-end was not started. You can try to go back to the title screen from the world map save menu, then starting the Lua front-end engine before selecting your save. If you are trying to start the Lua front-end engine and you see error checkmarks in the menu, we ask that you join the official randomizer Discord and report the issue there. Issues can occur for a multitude of reasons, so we ask for you to post there so that we can provide a bit more personal help. Now that we've set up the main part of the randomizer, let's go over some additional tools and options that you're able to use when playing. Let's go over in some better detail what some of the settings are on the seed generator page. The help page gives a brief explanation for the differences between vanilla, replace, randomize, and some other tidbits. Vanilla keeps the world's items as it normally is through a playthrough. Replace takes all the items and replaces it within the random items pool from all the other worlds, and puts not so valuable items like synth items and potions and such in that world instead. Randomize puts the items from that world into a random item pool, and then it will get random items from that collective pool, sometimes even getting the same items back. Critical mode settings randomize the starting abilities that Sora starts with. Normally, you start with Finishing Plus, Lucky Lucky, and other abilities, but having this setting on replaces all of them with different abilities or items. The leveling setting will replace all the item rewards. Level 50 is ideal to play on since proofs can be at a maximum level 50. If you choose the level 1 setting, level ups are not completely randomized. This is also the ideal setting for doing level 1 randomizer attempts. Randomized stats change where magic, strength, and defense increases occur. The bonus modifiers alters the pop-ups you get, such as drive gauge increases and HP increases. The answer reports depth setting is meant for how far you will see an answer report in a seed if you choose to use them along with hints. The Keyblade stats section is broken up as well like levels. If you choose Vanilla, a Keyblade will generate with its normal strength and magic stat, with the ability being randomized. Unbalanced, all Keyblades will have their strength and magic randomized between 0 and 7 strength and magic. On Boosted, the max range is set between 1 and 10. The XP multiplier section at the bottom changes the amount of XP needed to reach the next level. As the text here mentions, experience you gain from beating enemies will remain the same, however the XP requirement needed to level up Sora or a form is reduced. The world section is pretty self-explanatory. All world's items are placed into a random items pool, and then that pool is randomly distributed to every world with the randomized setting. The Include tab here has much more additional details. Keyblade settings can be set to have their vanilla abilities, support only randomizes the green support abilities like Finishing Plus and Berserk Charge, and action support combines the former with action abilities like Aerial Spiral and Explosion. Donald and Goofy's abilities being randomized is self-explanatory also. Absent Silhouettes, Datas, Olympus Cups all follow the same idea as worlds, where proofs can be located in these locations unless Replace is selected or put on vanilla. There are toggles here as well for Lingering Will and Sephiroth. In the Game Mode Settings tab, the two biggest settings are at the top here. Promise Charm means that Promise Charm is added into item pool. While this item is not normally found within the base game, for Randomizer, it is used to teleport the player to the beginning of the final fights once the player has found all 3 proofs. You can do this by going to the center console in the middle of the garden, and it'll take you to the Station of Calling, where the door at the end takes you to the final fights. Go mode means that the starting 3 chests in the garden will contain all 3 proofs, meaning that if you have the capabilities to reach the door at the end of the world it never was, you can challenge Xemnas, without searching for any proofs. All the other settings here are quality of life changes, such as having the option to skip the Dragon Xemnas auto-scroller boss fight. For the PC version, anything in the experimental tab will not work and should not be toggled on. Even if you do and convert the seed, the Lua engine will not properly start the seed and you will see an error. The last tab here is the spoiler log section, where you can search for any item of your choosing and see where it is located, such as where forms were or where proofs were located. We recommend that you do not look at this while doing an attempt, and that you look at it after a seed has been completed or you are absolutely stuck. Do note that unless you are given the seed name or seed generator link, trying to find the spoiler log from a seed given to you is virtually impossible. Now, let's go over what a tracker is. This is Red Buddhist Tracker, one of the most popular trackers available. It features a very clean and moderately customizable interface and the ability to auto-track important checks that you have found throughout a seed. Trackers are, as the name suggests, used to track important checks. What is deemed an important check is generally accepted as the 18 magic, being the 3 fires, 3 blizzards, 3 thunders, 3 cures, 3 reflects, and 3 magnets, the 5 different drive forms, the 5 torn pages, the 4 summons, and the 3 proofs. Some additional checks can be added depending on how you choose to play the seed, such as the 13 Ansem reports, Once More, and Second Chance. A tracker by itself is useful, but it becomes part of the randomizer experience when you choose to play with the hint mode. Hints are designed so that you aren't going to mindlessly check every world from beginning to end, but rather you are told or indicated through means of a number next to a world how many important checks are found there. The 2 main hint modes are Hints with Answer Reports and Shenana's Alt Hints mode. To use the Answer Reports hint setting, you will first need to visit a new site which will create hints for you. This is JSmarty's hint generator, and here you are able to set what important checks your tracker will count as well as what worlds it will show. Do note that you should have the extra worlds here match the settings that you play on, such as having Atlantica disabled when Atlantica is on the replace setting. Select the seed file that you have downloaded from the seed generator website, then generate the hints for them. If you're using the KH2 tracker from Red Buddha, you should click the Save Hints button, and then save that file to the location you will reference to the next step. Once saved, go to where you saved that file, then click and drag that file onto the tracker. There should be a pop-up on the tracker saying hints are loaded, meaning that if you pick up an Ansem report, it'll tell you how many important checks are located within a world. For Shenana's Alt Hints mode, you simply just need to click and drag your seed file onto the tracker. This mode makes it so the world numbers will turn blue once you have found the last important check in that world. If a number starts off as blue, then that means that world does not contain any important checks. However, this does not mean that the world won't contain any great abilities, like Glide, Slide Dash, and so on. Hopefully this basic tutorial will help you get Kingdom Hearts 2 PC Randomizer set up nice and quick. If you have any issues, I kindly ask that you join the Randomizer Discord and seek help there. And if you liked this tutorial, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I post daily randomizer runs, and I stream all my seeds on twitch.tv/codenamegeek, so give me a follow there if you can. I may also be free to answer some questions there when I'm streaming, so feel free to ask in there too. Good luck on your randomizer runs, thanks for watching.